So I just basically want us to build this form out. If you take a look at that, it's just basically red. And then when I begin to type an email, let's say code at codekinder.com, and you see that once it begins to detect that it's something that looks like an email, it's going to validate that, and then the color that surrounds that particular input becomes green. The same thing applies to the one down here. So if I'm typing someone's username, and I made that to fully a pattern where once it hits like 4 characters, it turns green. All right. So let's see how we can actually build this together. And we're going to use something like valid and invalid pseudocode in CSS to validate this. So I don't want us to build this quick form on this particular page where we're going to just basically experiment with the CSS invalid or valid pseudo on this particular one. So I just basically want it in such a way that once you type something that looks like an email, is going to like have something like a green color around the input. But if the email isn't actually correct, it's going to just have something like red colors around it, showing that that particular email address is not actually correct. So I want to throw in my HTML boilerplate right here. So I do have a meet on my Visual Studio Code, and if I type exclamation and then hit tab, it's going to basically go ahead and then generate this HTML boilerplate for me. And all I need to do is just change my title right here, and I want to basically go ahead and then call this particular one glowing form. Let's just call that glowing form validation, just like that. Then within this particular place right here, what I want to do is going to be very simple. So let's go ahead and then create a form in here. Then first of all, I want to throw in my h2 in here, and this is just basically going to be called the glowing input. And if you do that, we can go ahead and then create our form down here. So this is going to be form, and we can just give this an action. And if let's say we want to process the form on the same page, and we can add something like a method or whatever we want to do on that particular place. So let me do a method in here. I'm going to just basically set that to be equal to post, and I do not actually want to do much on that. So let me just close out the form right here. And then within this form that we have here, I want to create two inputs in here. So we do have input. I want to just set the type, set to something like text right here. Now I'm going to just call this an email because I'm going to use that around that. And we can have a name or an ID, anything we basically want right there. So I'm going to just call this an email. And I'm not going to just add all the properties that we need to this particular field in here. All right. But I'm just going to add a couple right here. So I'm going to just stick call this an email in case we want to hook up with something like a backend language. So let me just add an attribute that is fully called required right here, just to make sure that something has been filled in there before we can proceed to the next level. So I want to copy this particular line and then paste that on the next line. And what I want to do is to like basically create another field for that of the, let's say we're going to use something like a username. All right. So I'm going to just basically go ahead and change this one to text. That's the type in there. And the ID right here can be something like username. Then the name can also be called as something like username. All right. And I'm going to leave the rest of the thing in here. But if we need something like a label, we can also do that. So I'm going to just do label right here. And we can go ahead and just call this email. And we can just say something like required. And we can close out this label right here. So this is just basically that's how that is just basically going to be right there. We can throw in something like colon C here, and I want to copy this and paste that just right down here, and then we could just call this for username and just something of that nature right there. So however, the major thing I want to do, so if I refresh this page right here, sorry guys, so let's make sure we save the changes in here. Then if we refresh this page, you see that we do have our input coming in right here. I'm going to add I'm going to add a few lines of a CSS to make that look a little bit beautiful right here. So, and if you want to do something of that nature, we can add an external link to an external CSS file right here, and that is just basically if it's just a production application. But I'm going to just do this right here. I'm going to just use inline CSS right here. So I'm going to just do style, and I'm going to just go ahead and just say style right here. That's the closing tag. Remember to make sure that you do use an external CSS if this was going to actually be a production application. All right, but since this is just basically a little thing that I just basically want to show you guys today, I don't have to like take that to an external file. So I'm going to just do a body right here, and then give this a few lines of styling just by choosing the font family. And I'm going to just use Arial right here, and I'm going to just say Helvetica sans serif right there. here. That's fine. And the next line is going to be, I'm going to just basically give this a padding, and let's say the padding is going to be something like 20 pixels. So I'm going to just do 20px right here, and that's just all I want. Now what I basically want to target is going to be the input. All right, so to do that, I'm going to just do input right here. That's just basically talking about these fields that we do have it here. That's just basically what I'm referring to. So if I do input right here, and what I want to do within that particular place right here, let's say padding right here, and I'm going to just make that something like 10 pixels, and for the margin I'm going to just set that to be equal to 10 pixels by 0 pixel right here. And then down here, let's say border, and I'm going to just basically set the border to 2 pixels, and this is going to have a type of border called a solid, and I'm going to just use gray for the color of the border that I basically want. All right, you can use any color you want. So, and another thing I want to basically do right here is going to be the border radius. So I'm going to do border radius, and let's go ahead and set that to be equal to maybe 4 pixels or something like that, just to make the edges of the form input curve. And then after that, we'll want to have an outline in here. So it's going to be outline, and we're going to just set that to none. I don't want it to have an outline, and we're going to just say transform or transition rather, guys. So this is going to be transition, and we'll go ahead and set that to, this is going to be border. So we do have border color in here, and I'm going to just set this to 0.3 seconds, and let's introduce a comma here, and then the next value is going to be the box shadow. So this is going to be box dash shadow, and I'm going to just basically go ahead and set that to be equal to, so this is going to be, so let's set that to 0.3 seconds or so, just like that. And that should be the last thing I want to basically add on that particular line right there. So if we get down here, first of all, let's save the changes, and then if we refresh, you notice that this is just basically kind of a coming together right there. And the next thing I want to do down here is going to be to like make use of the two properties of or pseudo elements coming from that of the CSS that I want to use to like validate when somebody begins to type an email right here. Let's say we do have an email called a Kino, maybe a Gmail right there. You're going to see that this outline right here, the border is actually going to be changing color. All right, so just because the email is actually correct, we want to see how we can use CSS to check for that. And you can use something like JavaScript to do this in case you don't want to make use of this particular CSS in here. But for what I want to do, I'm going to just do input right here, and I'm going to just do colon, and I'm going to just say something like valid right here. Let's say valid. That's just talking about if the email that is getting typed into here or whatever input is actually valid, depending on what we want it to like basically be. So if it is really valid, what do you want to do? Basically, I'm going to just maybe give this a something like a border color right there. So to do that, if you just do border dash color, and what is the color going to be? So I'm going to just basically go ahead and just call this green. All right, so on the next line after the border color right here, we want to give this something like a shadow. All right, and if we want to do that, we're going to just do box dash shadow, and I'm going to just go ahead and set it to the following color right here. So I'm going to just do 0 by 0. So let's go ahead and then specify the colors we would like to basically use. So the first one, I'm going to set that to 0, and I'm going to mix that up with 255. Then after that, we do have 0, and then the next value I want to set is going to be the opacity, which I'm going to just set that to 0.5 right there. So I want to terminate that particular line in there, and then so if you refresh there, let's say I want to type an email right here. So if I do Kino art, and if I do Gmail, you see that color becomes a little bit more pronounced, right? You see that it comes in because I'm beginning to type something that looks like an email. So it checks by itself and then validate that. So this is beginning to sound like an email. That's why it changes to that particular color. And every time you want to delete that, if you take that away, it's going to change back to the color it already had. All right. So we're going to look for a way to maybe change it back to red if it becomes invalid. And if you want to do that, that means we can just use the invalid part of it. So I'm going to just, if we scroll a little bit down right here, and what I want to do is I'm going to just basically copy this input right here. And then if I get down here, let me just go ahead and paste what I just copied. And instead of using something like valid in here, let's change this to invalid. So if I do invalid, then I'm going to just basically change this color to red. Of course, invalid should always go with something like red, all right? And then down here, what we have here, if you want to change that, that's fine. Maybe you want to kind of change the values that we do have in here. It's completely fine. And basically, I'm going to just add one more property right here, which is going to just be 2 pixels right here. And for the things that we do have in here, I'm going to just basically change this particular one to 255 and then change this one to 0 right here, and that should just basically do it for us right there. So if we save the changes in here, and I want to take this away, so I don't know if we'll just make sure we refresh this page. So if we go ahead and then refresh this page, you see that by default it will have that red color around that particular place, and that just coming from this few lines we have in here. All right, so the line becomes red, and then we created shadows around it. That means that it's really invalid right now because we don't even have anything inside of it. But the moment we start typing right here, let's say Kino, and I do art, maybe I do something like Gmail, you see it changes to green right there, .com, something of that nature. So that's just basically what I was trying to like give you guys. All right, so let's do a couple more styles to this. If this is just basically what you want, you can basically, you feel free to just move right now and don't bother yourself about the rest. But if you want to stay till the end, that's just completely fine. So let's do a little bit more things. So I'm going to just style the label right here. So if I do label, and I want to give a couple of styles to the label. So if I do display, and this is going to be block, because I don't like the way the label actually flow into the right foot like that. So if I do that to block, and then I'm going to come down here and just do margin, and let's say that this is going to be margin tab, guys. So let's do margin tab, and then we can go ahead and let's set that to something like 20 pixels, and that is just that on that. So if we save the changes in here and then we refresh, you see that it pushes that content a little bit down there. All right, so just like that. Okay, so it looks, I think it looks really nice. And one thing, if we want to work on this username right here, we can just do just a little bit of a thing in here. Maybe we're going to just, once we get down here, we can add something like called a pattern. So we do have pattern right here. Then we can go ahead and set the pattern to maybe, and I think we just basically, I think we need, let me just type this correctly. This is going to be pattern, set that to be equal to, and there's going to be a dot. Now I'm going to just open this brackets in here. Now I'm going to add a 4 comma right there, and that should just basically do it, so that every time I begin to type something in here, it's red, but once it gets to up to 4 characters, it turns green right there. All right, so if you begin to take it away, once it turns, the pattern you added right there is less than 4, it's going to turn red, just like that. So that's just basically what I want to kind of show you right there. So the next thing I want to do is to just maybe add a button right here for the submit. So if you want to add the submit button down there, we can just, let's do button right here. And I'm going to just set a type, go ahead and set that to be equal to, let's call that submit. Even though we're not going to basically do anything with these, but just basically want to make sure that I do that right there. All right, so we do have that as the submit button right there. We can just close this and we can just say something like submit, and you can close this out. This is going to be button right here, and that's just what we have right there. So if you refresh, the button should just basically come in. So let's give it a couple of styles right here. So if you want to give that a couple of styles, I'm going to just go ahead and do the following. So I'm going to just do button, and we can get down right here and we can just say padding. All right, so color of the text is going to be white, so I'm going to just do white right here, and then down there we can go ahead and just set let's say we're going to have a border, and the border is just basically going to be set to none. I don't want to have any borders around it, and then after that we can just set a cursor right here, so that once you bring your mouse button, I think I want to show you this. If I save the changes right here and then I refresh right here on this page, you see that if I think this style is actually not coming in, so I think we misspelled button right here, so this should be double T. Let's save the changes, and then if we refresh in here, you see that the style begin to come in. So if you bring your mouse button close to this, it still looks like an arrow, so I want to change it to look like that of a human hand kind of icon. So to do that, we can use the property called a cursor, and we want to just change that to something like pointer. Save the changes, and if we refresh here, and you see that when you bring your mouse button close to it, changes like that of a human hand like that. So that's just basically what I want to do on that line. So down here we can go ahead and then set a margin top. So if we do margin dash top, and we can go ahead and then set that to maybe something like 10 pixels. All right, so that's just basically how that looks. I think I'm gonna just basically stop right here. I think I've actually given you guys what I really want you guys to like learn from this video. So let's say that this is gonna be code kinder at Gmail. If you take a look at that, changes to green, and once you begin to delete and it goes to a level where it doesn't actually look like an email anymore, it's going to bring this back right there. But once you bring this back, it's going to change to green. Then for the username, let's say this is going to be code, and once it gets to 4, it begins to show up. All right, you can even add numbers right there. All right, so this is just basically the submit button, and here is the code that we have so far. So if we open this up and I want to scroll through it, so you can, if you're just starting out, you can just pause the video and then type the code out. It's not really all that so much to type out. It's really very simple, and that is just that, guys. So this is how it looks, just like that. So I'll see you guys in the next one. If you do like the video, just feel free to hit the like button and then do comment if you have any question.